What's good, Ravens fans? It's your boy Jason, and today I want to talk about the Ravens and their pride. And as they say, guys, pride comes before the fall. And I think some Ravens are being so proud that it's actually hampering us from being the team that we really can be. And I'm going to talk about 3 Ravens that if they swallow their pride, then I think that we would be a better team in the long run for it, and even in the short term, and maybe win a Super Bowl in the near future. So the first person I'm going to talk about is Steve Bisciotti. You guys don't know, Steve Bisciotti is the owner of the Baltimore Ravens and the richest man in the state of Maryland. However, he is against paying Lamar a fully guaranteed contract simply on terms of pride, not because he doesn't have it. Steve Bisciotti's only reason that he doesn't want to give a guaranteed contract is a matter of principle. Now, a lot of you guys might say, well, what about Lamar Jackson's pride? Well, the issue with that is that there's already a player in the league who is making the money that Lamar Jackson wants. He's a lesser player statistically. He's a lesser player in terms of wins, and he's a lesser player in terms of achievements. And he's also a worse person if you believe the allegations and all that good stuff. I won't get into that here. But all I'm going to say is that if he gets a guaranteed contract, then there's no doubt in my mind that Lamar Jackson also deserves a guaranteed contract. So again, pride is something that Steve Bisciotti has, and I understand he's a billionaire. He's worked hard. He does all that good stuff. However, this is one that if he swallows his pride and gives Lamar Jackson a guaranteed contract, 1, Ravens fans will be happy. 2, they say you can't build around your team, but what are you doing already? Currently, the only players on offense who are being consistent are J.K. Dobbins and Mark Andrews. Also, guys, the numbers are in, and it shows that without Lamar Jackson, literally, statistically, the Ravens are the worst offense in the National Football League. If that's not worth guaranteed money, I don't know what is. With Lamar Jackson, you always have a chance. Steve Bisciotti knows that. However, he just doesn't want to set a trend. He doesn't want to be that owner to give a guaranteed contract to Lamar Jackson. Unfortunately, I think he's going to have to, but we will see. But that's one example of pride that's hurting the Ravens. The second example of pride hurting the Ravens is Eric DeCosta. Now, Eric DeCosta has done a great job drafting players. This year, the players that he has drafted have been successes across the board, really. First round successes, I would argue 4th round successes, and even with taking punters that are successful. He, with one draft, has really shaped the future of the Ravens in a positive way. However, last offseason, he stood up here and he gave a whole soliloquy about how Ravens fans are disrespecting Ravens receivers because they have the skills to pay the bills, and that they're going to be here and they're going to do things that we are not expecting them to do. However, he was wrong, and it's plain and honest for us to say he was wrong. Our best receivers this season on the team currently were not on the roster in the beginning of the season. That means something. That means that our talent was so shallow that we couldn't field a team of talented receivers with what we had. He was betting on Devin Duvernay, who was the most valuable player as a returner and as a receiver. However, as the season went on, he found trouble getting open. When you go to the other receivers, James Prochet has just been a total failure as a receiver this season. When we talk about Rashad Bateman has been a total failure this season. I don't like to throw his title around, but he's been in the league for 3 seasons and has been injured every single season. He's injury prone, and the Ravens try to bet that he will be healthy this year and improve this year. However, I hope they don't make that bet again. The receiving position needs to be addressed. We need to stop saying that we're the best at drafting receivers. And that's what I think Steve Bisciotti is trying to say. I drafted these receivers. They're going to be good. They're going to work in the system. I had Hollywood Brown. He was okay. I got Bateman. He hasn't really had a chance because of injuries. Well, again, injuries are part of the game. This is football, right? So go and do something bold and get a receiver that can pay the bills. There's rumors that DeAndre Hopkins is on the market. There's rumors that other receivers may be available for trade. It's important to take cap into account, and that's the biggest reason. If you have a choice between a wide receiver and all you have to do is give up a 1st round draft pick and pay his salary, do it. 1st round draft picks are not as valuable as we keep claiming that they are. a star receiver is more valuable than a first-round draft pick. I got some perfect examples for you guys. A player like Patrick Queen, who was a successful first-round draft pick, and in my opinion is a great player this season. However, he is less valuable than DeAndre Hopkins, and you would trade straight up Hopkins for Queen and think you can make it work. Most teams would. And if that is the option, a first-round draft pick for a great receiver, you make that trade, because even though Patrick Queen is great, Patrick Queen is better than most first-round picks ever become. And that's important to understand. Again, we love potential. It makes us happy, but the realness is that first-round draft picks usually don't pan out, and we need to understand that. So that's the second person, Bashadi, that exhibits pride. He thinks his draft picks are always right, and that really burned us this year at the receiver position. The last person who I think exhibits a lot of pride is John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is so proud about the way that he plays football, the way that the family plays football, that hard, tough, gritty style. It's not going to be pretty type of style. Well, guess what, guys? Everyone in the NFL is trying to be pretty. Patrick Mahomes, they're trying to be pretty. They're not trying to be gritty. Josh Allen, they're trying to be pretty. They're not trying to be gritty. LA Chargers are not trying to be gritty. They're trying to be pretty. Jacksonville Jaguars are trying to be pretty. Teams that we would argue have a better chance of winning Super Bowls than the Ravens currently, because they have developed a team of speed and receiver, a talented quarterback, and good offensive play calling. Now, the Ravens already have the quarterback done. However, we don't have the receivers and the offensive play calling, and that is the part that John Harbaugh's pride is going to get us in the end. John Harbaugh is committed to Greg Roman. Why? I don't know. It's been obvious to me that the reason the Ravens have not excelled with receivers is strictly because of the scheme. Nothing else. The scheme. The receivers' passing routes are not up to NFL standards. Now, again, the run scheme is great, and I'm not mad about that. However, when it comes to passing the football, we have the talent at quarterback to do it. I really believe that. If you look at advanced analytics, it shows that Lamar Jackson can throw the ball with some of the best quarterbacks in the league. And he's even shown us in games when he has to bring the team back. However, we're not allowing him to be great because we're trying to pigeonhole him into a college-style system where we do all these pretty things in order to kind of trick teams so they're not ready for the straight-ahead run. Instead, we need to do pretty things and excel at them and be able to throw the ball on different levels. All routes can't be crosses and outs. All routes can't be crosses and curls. We have to do better. Why, with the arm talent that Lamar Jackson has, are we not throwing the ball deep more times? Lamar Jackson has the arm talent to do that. Throw the ball deep, give players a chance. Now, when Hollywood Brown was here, we had more deep shots because his skill set forced the Ravens to get him involved throwing the ball deep. Now we need to do that more, even though we don't have him in his skill set. John, this is a plea to you that it may be time to swallow your pride and get rid of Greg Roman. Even though Greg Roman has been a successful coordinator in terms of offensive numbers, it's clear to everyone now that he's been out that the reason that the offense has been good under Greg Roman has nothing to do with Greg Roman. It has everything to do with Lamar Jackson. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks, and go Ravens.